Homework questions 1 through 10, 15, 16, and 20. Number 1 says explanatory and response variables in each of the following situations. Is it more reasonable to simply explore the relationship between the two variables or view one as an explanatory and the other as a response? If one is an explanatory and the other is a response, which one is explanatory and which one is response? So for instance, the amount of time a student spends studying for a statistics exam and the grade on the exam. Which one would be the explanatory, which one would be the response? The weight and height of a person. Now that would be one where would one explain the other, and could you really tell which one's explanatory and response? So think about it. Would weight explain height, or would height explain weight, or really maybe neither? Okay, so that's what you're thinking on those. If you know that one of them explains the other, then you can tell explanatory and response. If you're not sure, then you're going to have to just say we can examine the relationship between the two. All right. Again, the book back can help you a little bit in there if you want to work through this. Number 2, how well does a child's height at age 6 predict the height at age 16? To find out, we measure the heights of a large group of children at age 6. We wait until they reach age 16 and then measure their heights again. What are the explanatory and response variables here? Are these variables categorical or quantitative? So we want to know if a child's height at 6 predicts their height at 16. So the response is what happens at the end. We want to know, does this explain this? So which one's explanatory, which one's response? Okay. Number 3, there may be a gender gap in political party preference in the United States, with women more likely than men to prefer Democratic candidates. A political scientist selects a large sample of registered voters, both men and women. She asks each voter whether they voted for Democrat or Republican. What are the explanatory and response variables? Are they categorical or quantitative? So again, to figure out if basically they're thinking, does whether they're male or female affect the party? So think, which one explains, which one's the response, and then are those numbers or are they words? Pretty simple there. Number 4, the most common treatment for breast cancer was once removal of the breast. Now it is to remove only the tumor and nearby lymph nodes, followed by radiation. The change in policy was due to a large medical experiment that compared the two treatments. Some breast cancer patients chosen at random were given each treatment. Patients were closely followed to see how long they lived following surgery. What is explanatory and what's response? And then is it categorical or quantitative? So we're looking at the treatments, and we want to see which one would explain the other in here. So basically, explanatory, the response, again, your response is what happened. So how long did they live? So you're thinking of that. What explained how long they lived? That would be the explanatory. And then categorical or quantitative for each one. For explanatory, tell whether it's categorical or quantitative, and for the response, is it categorical or quantitative? So these are not hard. You just have to think a little bit about it. Number 5, what are the variables in activity 3 on page 120? Is there an explanatory response relationship? If so, which one's explanatory and which one's response? If you look at activity 3, they're talking about SAT math and SAT verbal. So their SAT math score and the SAT verbal score, does one explain the other? Okay. So is this a relationship? Is there a relationship between your math score and your verbal score? Number 6, the endangered manatee. Manatees are large, gentle sea creatures that live along the Florida coast. And number 6 we did do in class today, so I will not go through that one. Number 7, are jet skis dangerous? Same thing. In number 7, we want to look at the jet skis. How many, what it says we want to look at is jet skis in use, accident, and the fatalities. So to start number 7, we got to turn to the next page. It says examine the relationship between the number of jet skis in use and the number of accidents. So we're just looking at the number in use and the number of accidents. Which one would be explanatory? Okay, make a scatter plot of these. So L1 and L2, and make a scatter plot and sketch it. And then what does the scatter plot show? When you're looking for what does it show, is it positive, negative, no relationship? Is it linear? And is it strong, moderate, or weak? Number 8, make a scatter plot of the math SAT score and the verbal SAT score data from activity 3. if you haven't done so already. And for that one, we were supposed to do that in class, and we did not. So we're just going to leave that one until tomorrow. So number 8 you can skip because we needed SAT scores for that data. Number 9, on the endangered manatee, you made a scatter plot of power boats registered and manatees killed. Describe the direction of that relationship.